And New Year has come, Larry. How are you doing? Happy New Year, my friend.
Yeah, I'm having a better New Year than, say, people in Gaza,
People in California.
people in California, etc. Yeah.
Yeah, not a good start. And since we are talking about this, the year ended also a little turbulent in the United States. 2 or 3 different terror attacks, right?
No, I don't think so. Ended or started?
The Tesla car was on the end of the year, right?
No, it's January 1st.
Oh, January 1st. Okay.
So the attack in New Orleans took place on January 1st, and the Matt Livelsberger setting himself on fire in front of the Trump Hotel was on 11 o'clock in the morning in Las Vegas on the 1st of January.
So. Yeah. I didn't cover that yet, but I got some videos on your Telegram channel and very interesting perspectives, very conspirationist thinkings that I can put on that.
Well, yeah, the whole Livelsberger incident, it's now confirmed that he was in the car. He was the one that died in the fire. The thing that still doesn't make sense is that the coroner is insisting that he shot himself with a 50 caliber Desert Eagle, which means, one-handed, or maybe you got to go 2 hands. But the explosion that starts the fire in the car, immediately you can see in like the second or third frame, the flame fills the cabin, and he's silhouetted, and you don't see a gun. And in fact, if he had shot himself in the head or, eaten the gun, his head would have been, half gone.
And the gun would have fly away. Yeah.
Well, the gun dropped. They did find the gun between his legs on the floor of the car. Mm-hmm. So that, that's expected, but it's just, the shot's not visible at all. And the damage that should have been done to the head is not visible. So,
yeah. One thing that called my attention that I thought about is that so a friend of mine have bought a BMW, a brand new BMW some months ago, and these cars have a lot of things inside, including a 360 camera from the inside of the car. Mm-hmm. That's a Tesla truck. That should have maximum optionals inside.
Yeah.
And since it's a rental, it's not I would argue even the personal one, but the rental one for sure would have some backup of images from inside the car.
Look, he was an 18-year veteran of special forces. He had training in intelligence, counterintelligence, surveillance, and the fact that he would select a Tesla, which is easy to trace and follow, and then all the time supposedly sending an email which talked about him being followed, being under surveillance. But what does he do? He uses a phone and uses a car that makes him easy subjects to track and identify. Mm-hmm. So it's almost like he wanted to get caught. He was, there are some reports that he had suffered both traumatic brain injury and was suffering post-traumatic stress syndrome. We don't know. The device that was constructed, the explosives and fire and fuel, he was very competent at building explosives. He'd been through that training. This was, a joke. I mean, a deadly joke, but nonetheless a joke. And it really stands in contrast to the device. The 2 devices reportedly placed by the Jabbar character in New Orleans, who had 0 experience being trained with explosives. 0. He was an admin guy. And yet here he builds 2 fairly sophisticated remote-controlled detonated devices. So, maybe these 2 incidents were just a coincidence. Maybe they're coordinated. There was lots of, conspiracy stuff in the email that Livelsberger sent to this fellow named Shoemate. And, again, some of the things that stated in the email didn't turn out to be true. So it's just, it's a very...
Like his first car or something like that, right?
Well, yeah,
some
he said
details.
first Mustang, but then he also said he's going to Mexico. He didn't go to Mexico. Pretty simple. He also mangled some of the terminology for describing U.S. forces in Afghanistan. They didn't use a really proper, what I call proper military acronym jargon, which raises questions. Did he actually write that email, or was that written by somebody else? So we just don't know.
Yeah. Weird stuff going on. And then it started, since you mentioned, let's bring it up, the fires on California.
Yeah.
And that's being, fires in California are not a hard thing to happen. Almost every year.
But look, the satellite imagery of it indicates 3 of those fires are started simultaneously. Who started them?
There was also some images, I guess, from people with, gasoline, whatever, putting fire on stuff. That I saw on the social media. I'm not saying that is official, but
this is an example of what you could do if you really wanted to disrupt a country. Carry out this kind of... This has caused the amount of damage to Los Angeles and to those neighborhoods. Because now where are they going to live? And if again, these people lost everything. If you had a job as a lawyer and you wore a suit to work every day and had 3 suits in your closet, they're gone. So on the one hand, they're going to have to go out and spend money to buy new clothes, but then where are you going to hang them?
I saw today something that it looks like the insurance to cover up all the damage, because it was a very rich neighborhood, right, in the region.
The Palisades.
The Palisades, exactly. The insurance to cover the damage was going as high as almost $500 billion.
Yeah, it could be that high, but a number of the insurance companies canceled policies, so that they don't have an exposure. So we'll see. It is, we'll see what disaster awaits us this week. We've had almost a disaster a week.
Exactly.